we went shopping for art stuff at Blick. We would have gotten a few more items, but they didn't have everything we were looking for. However, they did have these. Let's go from largest to smallest. So, first up is a paper pad. It's the Blick brand in 11 by 14 inches with 70 sheets of 80-pound drawing paper. By the way, early in the day, we did stop in at Happy Don'ts and treated ourselves to a donut breakfast. Mine was a Bismarck and his was a twist. It was necessary fuel for the road and provided the energy to deal with big city driving. Thankfully, producer Mike is familiar with the streets of Seattle, having worked and lived there for several years. And even though there have been changes since then, he got us there and back with no problems. Thank goodness, because WandaVision was getting pretty interesting, and I was itching to get back for more. I already had some Canson drawing paper in 18 by 24 size, which I could cut down for easier handling, but the 11 by 14 size will just be more convenient. And I can live with the 80-pound weight, I hope. And okay, I really just wanted to try something with the Blick brand on it. This Bristol Vellum Pad is not mine. It's producer Mike's. Having never used Bristol paper, I don't know much about it, but he said he got it to do pen drawings, and I might try it out myself. It's 100-pound paper and quite stiff, similar to cardstock. Although it's somewhat smooth, there is a little bit of tooth. Hey, you can never have too much art paper around. This was my first visit to a Blick Art Materials store, and it was a blast to roam the aisles of accessoires d'artiste. Most of my time was spent in the paint and paper aisles. Their selection of watercolor tube paints is the largest I've seen and includes Daniel Smith, M. Graham, Da Vinci, Schminke, Winsor & Newton, and Sennelier. Unfortunately, they didn't have the specific color on my list, Artemis from Da Vinci, nor did they have the fluid 100 paper, although they did have the regular fluid, as well as a nice selection of Arches, Strathmore, Canson, Fabriano, Legion, and Blick papers. Brushes and pens/markers were also well represented. Rulers, too. There are a handful of rulers in my studio, but you know how it is. You can never find just the right one. The 12-inch was sometimes too small, and the 24-inch was often too big. And the couple of clear plastic rulers I have don't have imperial markings, so this 18-incher here might be my Goldilocks measurer moment. The big one was a T-square, but I removed the end piece. I used to have more drafting tools, T-squares, triangles, protractors, and those green plastic templates. They were a holdover from an architectural engineering class, but they've disappeared over the years. At one time, I dreamed of owning a fancy schmancy drafting table. You know, the ones with cast iron and wood that looked like they came from an 1890s industrial warehouse. But outside of the occasional just-for-fun floor plan, I don't do much in the way of technical drawings. So a simple straight edge is better for my purposes. Here's a 2.5-ounce container of the Master's brush cleaner, and the little sample size I'd been using. There is also an in-between size and a larger tub as well, and I can't believe there's no innards shot in this footage. That's like showing off a golden crusted pie and not cutting a slice to reveal the strawberry and rhubarb goodness inside. Well, yeah, this is nothing fancy, just soap. But still, my single tube of Sennelier green was looking rather pathetic all on its own, so I found some friends for it to play with. Permanent alizarin crimson deep, blue indanthrine, and lemon yellow. I'd gone through my swatch cards at home, but not thoroughly enough, since it turns out that I already have PY3 in the form of Hansa Yellow Light from both Daniel Smith and Da Vinci. As for permanent alizarin crimson deep, although PR206 shows up in two of my quinacridone golds, I did not have it in single pigment form. By the way, isn't crimson supposed to be a cool red, while scarlet is warm? And this is definitely warm. You're sort of confusing the Boston cream filling out of me, Sennelier. Then again, it's placed with the earth tones where normal rules don't apply. Oh, and indanthrine blue, aka PB60, is entirely new to me. This set of Le Pen fine point pens in neon colors is another producer Mike special. The tips are 0.3 millimeter. I did look at some brush-tipped artist pens, but I can never make up my mind on which of them to purchase, and always end up talking myself out of making that decision, with the rationalization that I don't really need it at this time. These pens are in an overly complicated storage case, sort of like the Stettler pen case from a previous video, if it came from the Negaverse, that is. Yeah, assistance was required. So my life is lived in fear of the multitude of choices: water-based, alcohol-based, pigment-based, bullet-tipped, brush-tipped, chisel-tipped, low quality and cheap, mid-quality and pricey, high quality and buyer's remorse. And here are a couple of Van Gogh tubes. Again, not for me. But somebody thought the colors looked cool. Dusk violet and dusk green. Yeah, I know that's not how that name is said, but I can't be bothered to twist my tongue around the proper Dutch pronunciation. Besides, a mastery of foreign names is of no comfort when you're in tears while watching WandaVision. I mean, how many times does that woman have to lose her partner? My eyes were so puffy it was difficult to see, but I think she finally got her Scarlet Witch outfit, right? That was my main concern, since the threads are one of the best things about being a superhero. At the checkout, we signed up for the Blick Rewards program, and several dollars was deducted from our total, due to the member perk of price matching their online store, which made me feel better for causing some initial awkwardness, because early on I'd revealed my level of social deterioration. When asked if I'd found everything I'd been looking for, I answered, no, as if they had all let me down big time, like a starving bear emerging from her den and growling, "I was promised berries." I'm happy to share this Blick unbagging session with you, but lest you think we braved the dreaded Seattle traffic for merely 2 paper pads, a ruler, brush soap, 5 tubes of paint, and a set of 4 neon pens, well, you'd think wrong, because we got our Shake Shack fix too. After all, it's not a real outing without a second stop for food. Until next time, stay artsy, my friends.